What got me interested in linguistics was my interest in Philippine languages. Having grown up in a majority Filipino community in San Diego, it intrigued me that not only did each of my friends' families seem to come from a different part of the Philippines, but each seemed to speak a different language. The reason why I chose UH Manua is because, given my interests, there's really nobody in the world who would have been more appropriate for me to study under than my advisor, Dr. Robert Bluss. Besides the fact that UH Manua is one of only 2 or 3 universities in the world which are extremely noteworthy for their emphasis on Austronesian languages and language documentation. What I'm studying is basically the relationships between the approximately 250 languages that I've worked on in the Philippines, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Brunei, some of which have as few as 5 or 10 speakers remaining. What I hope to accomplish with my studies is to document as many of these languages as possible so that information on these languages that I like so much will be available to anyone and everyone with an interest in them. The Bilinski Fellowship will be a tremendous help in allowing me time to write the best dissertation I can write, one that will do justice to my advisor, Dr. Bluss, and to the thousands of language informants who have spent their time with me over my 15 years of language research.
For me, what makes UH Manoa stand out the most is its international focus. Specific to the linguistics department, there's also a broad diversity of expertise. One of the biggest resources that the university and the department has provided is really strong support for experimentation in linguistics. My dissertation topic is actually about comparative semantics, so comparing meaning between Chinese and English and focusing on happiness. Essentially, my question is, what is happiness according to American English speakers and Chinese speakers? My first goal is to teach and do research in my field of linguistics. Receiving the Bilinski Fellowship has really had a majorly positive impact on my progress in finishing the dissertation. Since the fellowship started, I've actually been writing my dissertation every day for a month straight so far.
So I originally got interested in second language studies through a rather circuitous process. I started out in life as a biologist, actually, who found himself teaching English in China, a long story. But while in China, I found that I really enjoyed teaching English, teaching language. And I also got interested in how people learn language and also how people evaluate or measure language. I chose to come to UH Manoa simply because I think we have one of the best second language studies programs anywhere, really. I mean, the program itself is just outstanding in a lot of different ways. So what I'm studying is how raters in a speaking test make a decision. So in a speaking test, you have a test taker who talks, or a recording of a test taker, and you have somebody who listens to that talk and gives a score. So the score sort of magically appears, and what I'm interested in is how does this magic happen? The Bilinski Fellowship has just really been amazing. I mean, it's helped both in terms of supporting the cost of my research, which is rather expensive because I have a lot of participants, a lot of expenses there. But even more importantly, I would say what the fellowship does is it provides time. So I think what the fellowship does is it allows me to complete the dissertation both in a more timely manner and hopefully a better manner, a higher quality manner.
What got me interested in second language studies, I would say, would initially be my time teaching language in Asia, in Korea, teaching English in Korea. That was a very interesting period. I think more so, though, during that time I met my wife. She was Korean, and so I've had this intercultural relationship for the better part of my life now, and that's quite an interesting situation to be in, frankly. I chose to come to UH for a very simple reason. It was the strength of the Second Language Studies department. It had been recommended to me by my master's advisor. It had a very good reputation in the field. There were a number of individuals there that were very well known, top scholars in their field. My research interests are in accreditation mandated assessment and the impact of that on college foreign language departments. Accreditation mandated assessment is the sort of the No Child Left Behind version of that type of legislation, accountability legislation, at the college level, and no one's really looked at the impact of that on foreign language programs in colleges. Is this fundamentally the requirement to do assessment, which all foreign language programs are required to do? Fundamentally, is it helping? Is it contributing to educational effectiveness in those programs? You almost can't overstate how helpful the Bilinski Fellowship has been. It really is an optimal situation where I can read, I can write, I can think at my leisure. I can really lose myself in intellectual and scholarly pursuits. Couldn't overstate how grateful I am to the Bilinski Fellowship for that opportunity.